Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. Today I am here with one of my favorite videos to film every month, and that is my TBR and my TBW video, where I talk about some of the things I hope to read and watch in the upcoming month. So this time we of course are talking about May 2021, and I am really excited about everything that I have sitting next to me here. So I kind of like unofficially am making May is for manga month, I guess, because I have this big old stack of manga here from the library that I want to get through in the month of May. So we're going to talk first about my TBR, where we'll talk about these and some other things, and then we'll jump over to my TBW game. What I'm gonna do this month, I think, is rank my TBW picks from last month that I finished, and then move on to picking my new TBW using, of course, the letter and prompt TBW game, as I always do. So I am really excited about this month's options or opportunities, what could possibly be in store for me. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in. So I know that May is for manga here on Cinefessions this month, but I do want to talk about some other things that I'm planning to finish because I have started Kill River by Cameron Robeek. I left it upstairs and I'm just being too lazy. I don't want to go pick it up, but I do have this one about, I don't know, maybe about 25-30% of the way in, maybe a little bit more than that. I am enjoying it. It's really slow, to be honest, and hasn't really gotten to like the juicy parts yet, but it's well written. The characters are interesting. They're a little younger than I think would make sense for this kind of setting, but it's okay. I enjoy it. So I'm going to continue with that one. Like I said, I'm about maybe 25-30% of the way through that. And then the other one I am doing is called Slugfest. So Slugfest is a story about like the Marvel versus DC comic world or war that they've been raging for 50 plus years now. And this one is really interesting. Like, I am about halfway through this audiobook now. I picked it up it was on sale for $6 last month. So I picked it up and it's really cool. It's really interesting to learn all this history of both of these comic, titans that I know virtually nothing about in terms of the history of these companies. So there's definitely a pro Marvel slant on this, which is what all of the reviews said coming in, which is totally fine with me. Like, I don't have a problem with that. It's a very fascinating book though, but to be honest, like, a lot of the information is coming in one ear and just going to go out the other, because I aside from like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, I don't really recognize a lot of the names that are being talked about. Some of them I do, but not a lot of them, and so I'm just not going to remember it moving forward. But I have learned some interesting things that I will keep with me, and so I'm enjoying it. I'm having a really good time with it, so I'll probably finish that one up in the first couple of weeks in the month. And then finally, the last non-manga item that I want to consume in the month of May is another Star Wars book. I want to move over to outside of my canon journey. This one is technically a Legends line, and this is Star Wars Heir to the Empire. This is written by Timothy Zahn. So if you don't know what this one is, this is essentially like what was the original episodes, like 7, 8, 9, I think, because it's a Thrawn trilogy. So this is kind of the original of those episodes, where the universe could have gone. And I've heard that it is just the best of the best when it comes to Star Wars writing. So I am really looking forward to this. I would really like to watch, the original trilogy again before I get to these, but I've seen it so much at this point that I don't need to. It's just, I would like to. So if not, I just want to get to this one because this is one of my, it's on my 21 pieces of media to consume list in 2021. So this is one I really want to get to. So that is the other piece of non-manga material that I hope to finish in May. Written by Timothy Zahn, Star Wars Heir to the Empire. Now let's talk about some of the manga I hope to finish in May. I don't have it here, but technically Pokemon Volume 3, Pokemon Adventures Volume 3 will be a May finish because I did not get to finish it last night like I was hoping. So that one I still have maybe 5 or so chapters left to go, so it won't take me very long to get through that one. So I guess the first item on the agenda is going to be Pokemon Adventures Volume 3, which I am reading within the Collector's Edition Volume 1. So that'll take care of all of those. I've really enjoyed the first two, and this one's pretty interesting because of course we're getting to to like Mewtwo. So it's pretty cool. So that'll be the first manga I'm hoping to complete. That's what the rest of this entire stack is. I was going nuts at the library, adding a bunch of stuff on, putting it on hold, and then picking it up. So I have a bunch here to talk about that I'm hoping to finish in the month of May. So let's talk about those. I'll start at the top here. And if you guys watched my manga reading vlog, you'll know that I really enjoyed the second half of Omnibus 1 of I Am a Hero. And this is written by Kengo Hanazawa. So I really was not getting into this in the first half of Omnibus Volume 1, which would have been like the first volume, because each of these contain 2 volumes. But it really picked up toward the end, and I really enjoyed the second half of that omnibus. So I wanted to continue the story, and I've heard nothing but excellent things as the series continues. So I really want to get through this one. So this is technically 2 volumes. Yeah, so this is a zombie apocalypse is just starting basically in the first omnibus. It really picked up at the end of that. And so now we're diving in. We're following this super socially awkward character who clearly has some mental problems, I guess I'll say, and he is trying to come on his own in this new world that he's facing. So it's a fascinating world. I think the art is really well done, as I've shown. This is just a really interesting story. So definitely excited to continue. I Am a Hero Omnibus 2. So that'll be the first one on my TBR in terms of manga this month. Next up is a series that I started outside of my manga reading vlog, so I haven't really talked about this one too much, but this is called Alive: The Final Evolution. And basically what happens here in Volume 1, which I've already read, is that like this virus sweeps across the world, and it is like a suicide virus is what it's called. And so basically it was like 1 week, like in Japan alone, there was like 30,000 suicides or something like that. And so that's kind of what the first volume's about. And then it's going to pick up from there to see if, what's going to happen. I forgot about that, but there is like a supernatural twist on this as well outside of that even. And so that picked up toward the end of the first volume. So I'm interested to see where it goes from there. Obviously, I'm not going to talk any spoilers, but I have the volumes 2, 3, and 4. So this is volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. This is quite a long series. I want to say it's like 20 to 30 volumes. So I don't know if I'll get to the entire thing, because I think this is all my library had, if I remember right. So we'll see if I enjoy it enough. Maybe I'll try to continue it, maybe digitally if it's possible. I don't know, but yeah. So this is another one I hope to read all 3 of these in May. So Alive volumes 2 through 4, and these are all written by Tadashi Kawashima. So excited to continue this series. Another one where if you guys watched my reading vlog, my manga reading vlog, you might wonder why I'm continuing these, but I didn't like the first one at all. I think I gave it 2 stars out of 5, but that was the very first one I read for that vlog. So some of the first manga I ever read. I decided, because I had volume 2 at home already, give it a shot, see if I like it anymore. And I really enjoyed the second volume. So I picked up volume 3 and volume 4 of Slam Dunk from my library. So I do want to finish these 2. And this is written by Takahiko Inui. And this is one of the most popular mangas of all time. I think it's like the best-selling manga ever in Japan, or maybe one of them. I think Demon Slayer is up there as well. But this is a basketball manga, as you can probably tell from at least this cover image. But we are following kind of a love triangle amongst these high school kids. It is definitely more of a YA series, a younger teen audience, but I'm still enjoying what I've read so far in volume 2. So I'm excited to see what else is in store for me. So volume 3 and volume 4, I hope to finish in the month of May of Slam Dunk, written by Takahiko Inui. One random thing that I ended up getting from the library last month was called The Dissolving Classroom, written by Junji Ito, and I really enjoyed it. So I've read Uzumaki from Ito years ago, maybe a couple years ago now, and I thought it was good, but I didn't quite fall for it like I hoped I would, but Dissolving Classroom was excellent. So because of that, I decided to add a bunch of Junji Ito to my library hold list. So the first one I want to read next month is called Gaio, I'm assuming. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Let me show you some of the art here kind of early on. So he is known for his horror writing. Like Uzumaki is often referred to as the spiral horror book, a spiral horror manga, and it is just like finding spirals in the creepiest of places, and the art is just disturbing. So that's exactly what I'm expecting here with this one. So not only do I want to do Gaio, which is pretty chunky, I also picked up this even chunkier one, and this one is Tomi. So frankly, I don't know really what these two are about. I just know it's going to be more horror from Junji Ito, so I'm really excited for both of these. Hopefully I can get to these. I'll probably put these ones toward the end just because they are so chunky, so if I have to move anything into June, it'll probably be one of these. Looking at this guy here, but yeah, so I am really excited to get to these because I really enjoyed The Dissolving Classroom. So if you like horror and kind of just disturbing images, this is the author to go to. So excited to get to Gaio and Tomi, and that is going to be, I think, yeah, that's going to be everything on my TBR for the month of May. So it is very manga heavy, but that's intentional so I can get rid of some of these library books before they're due back. So yeah, awesome. So now let's jump over to my TBW game, my letter and prompt game, and see what it is that I'm going to end up watching in the month of May. Before we do that though, let's talk real quickly about the ranking order of the 3 that were on my TBW for April. So the month of April was pretty interesting in terms of the 3 items I had on my TBW from the game. I did have a couple more on there, but honestly, I just didn't get to them. It was a very light month for movie watching for me, between like WrestleMania, so I was kind of into that, and then MLB The Show 21 came out on Game Pass, so I was playing that quite a bit. So just a lot of things took up my free time, so I didn't get to watch a ton of movies, unfortunately, but I did get through all 3 of the movies that I picked for my letter and prompt game. So the first one was Rashomon from 1950, and this was my Criterion Collection pick. And then I had Onward from 2020, I believe, and this was a 4K pick. Or no, I'm sorry, this was an animated pick. I just happened to watch it on 4K. And then finally, The Lady Vanishes from 1938. And this was watch a film from the 1930s or earlier. So yeah, it was a really interesting mix of movies, kind of all over the place here. 2 Criterion Collection picks, which isn't surprising. But yeah, so let me rank these now in terms of how much I enjoyed them. And you might be a little bit surprised, but I am going to talk about all these in a future review video. With the Criterion picks, it'll probably be a Cinefessions Conquers the Criterion collection. With Onward, it'll be one of my like review videos that I do. So I'm going to put Rashomon at number 3 on my list. So I totally respect this movie for what it did, but in terms of enjoyment, I didn't find it that engaging at all. So that was a little bit disappointing. And again, fuller thoughts coming, but that's my thoughts there. And then second on my list, I'm actually going to put The Lady Vanishes. So this was a really good film. So just because I'm putting it second isn't a knock on it at all. Like, this was a great film. So basically this is a story of, is the main character crazy or is she onto something? And so that was fascinating. What was really troublesome with this one is the disc here, which actually this is still the original disc, which is in perfect condition. I opened it right before I watched this. So it's a brand new disc. It wouldn't play on my 4K player. Then there was audio issues on my Xbox Series X. And then finally I wiped it down, tried it again on my 4K player the next day, and it worked until about the hour and 20-ish minute mark. I can't remember exactly. It's in my Twitter feed if you're interested. But then it just stopped playing completely. So I found out through some Google research that Criterion is good at replacing discs. So I ended up contacting them, and now less than a month later, I actually have my brand new disc to replace this broken one right over there, which I haven't tested yet, but I'm assuming it's going to work. So they were awesome when I emailed them. So that was a really good experience. But yeah, so no charge to me at all. I got a brand new disc and I was able to finish it. Actually, I'll be honest, I actually finished it it was on YouTube. So I only had 15 minutes left of the movie, and I was not about to wait to get a new disc to figure out, the ending of that film, because I was really enjoying it. So I finished it there. But so that means that the number 1 movie that I enjoyed from my TBW last month is Onward. This movie just blew me away. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you'll get my fuller thoughts on all of these there as well, if you don't want to wait for my video. But this was just so emotional. I was legit in tears for 75% of this film. It messed with my emotions so much. It's just a beautiful story of these 2 brothers trying to reunite with their dad who has passed away, but thanks to the use of magic, they have this way to potentially meet him again. So it is a beautiful story. It's a travel film, a buddy adventure film, and it is just beautifully done. The animation on this 4K disc looked stunning. I love this movie. I cannot wait to watch this one again. It is fantastic. So Onward, I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and that's definitely at the top of my TBW from last month. So now let's shuffle up the cards wherever they disappeared to and see what I'm going to pick for whatever the month this is, May. But first, I totally forgot. We have to go over the rules of this real quick, as quickly as I possibly can. I'll stick them up on the screen here so you guys can see them. So each month, I select a letter from the Scrabble bag, which can have letters from A to Z and 2 blank tiles in it. And then I pick a card from my deck of prompts, and I have to match the letter with that prompt from something in my physical media collection. The letter represents the title of the film the first time I draw it, and then the second time, if I happen to redraw the letter, it'll be the director's first or last name. While unwatched films are encouraged, I can definitely put a rewatch in there if I choose to. So the letter goes back in the bag, but the prompt will stay out. This says a full month, but frankly, I've just been keeping them out, and I'm still going to keep them out because then it gives me some different prompts to pull, so it's just more fun that way. So each month, I'm going to draw about 3 movies, and the movies have to be watched in that month, or I have to get rid of them one way or another. And then finally, there are 2 jokers in the deck, which if I pick one, I can use that as a save for a future month. So those are the general ideas for the rules. So if anything kind of comes up from there, we'll tackle it at that point. But yeah, let me get these cards shuffled up a little bit here and see what I can draw. I'm a little bit all over the place because first I, of course, have to draw a letter. So let's draw the letter first. And we have the letter T. All right, so let's see what prompt the letter T is about to match up with. Get these shuffled real quick, and then we'll cut it at the very end. Okay, good enough there. Let's cut it. See what we got. Watch a film released in the 1960s. Okay, cool. So a film from the 1960s that begins with the letter T. Let's go see what I can find. All right, so I didn't have a ton of options for T from the 1960s. I honestly thought I'd have a few more options, but that's okay. What I did find is actually pretty cool because there are actually a couple of options from the Hammer Films Ultimate Collection, which this will be the first time I'm opening this up, which is really cool. So the one I'm going to go with is called The Terror of the Tongs from 1961, which is fun because it's a Christopher Lee film, so that's always cool. But this one sounds really weird. It's set in 1910 Hong Kong, and it's like almost an action movie, not really a horror movie, where these it's gang warfare going on, and I don't exactly know what's going to happen from there, but it sounds interesting enough. It's really short, only 77 minutes, and it gives me an excuse to open this bad boy up and start watching through these films. So that's what I'm going to pick. So The Terror of the Tongs from 1961, and that's going to come from the Hammer Films Ultimate Collection. So we're going to put T back into the bag and then draw another letter and a prompt. T's back in. Let's see what we're going to draw instead. Okay, we have the letter S, so that's cool. That's always a good wide open option. So let's see what prompt we'll go with that. And of course, that prompt is staying out for a while. Maybe until I get to the end of all of these. I don't know. We'll see, but that's probably enough there. We'll cut it one more time and we'll draw another one. Okay, so this is rewatch a film you liked the first time you saw it. So this is cool because there's always those movies that you love, but for whatever reason you only watch them once. And so I have a bunch of them, which is why I decided to add this prompt in. So I'm going to pick a film that starts with the letter S that I loved the first time I saw it. So let's see what I can find. Not surprisingly, there are quite a few films that I've already seen and loved that start with the letter S, but the idea here, the spirit behind this is watching or picking a film that I've only seen once that I loved the one time I watched it. So that's what I ended up finding. And this one I actually just picked up recently. I'm trying to get the sequel still, but this is See No Evil. And this one is from 2006 and it stars Kane from the WWE. I remember when this was coming out in 06 and they had this gimmick going with Kane kind of to lead up into this film, and it was just so goofy and amazing, and I really enjoyed this slasher film the first time I saw it. So I've been wanting to check this one out again for quite some time. So I recently added it back into the collection, or I guess I recently upgraded it to Blu-ray, and so I need to watch it. So this one is definitely an exciting one. So from 2006, I am going to go with a film that I loved the first time I seen it. I'm going to go with See No Evil. Really excited to watch this one a second time. All right, so S goes back in the bag. Find another letter here. Okay, we have the letter D. So let's see what D will match up with. All right, that's good. We'll give it one more cut here. Maybe one more. There we go. All right, let's see. Come on, Joker. Oh, I got a Joker. Hey, perfect. Okay, so this is perfect. So now, like I mentioned when I was going over the rules, I have a Joker. So that means if for whatever reason I don't get to one of these movies next month, I can use my Joker card and I can save it so I don't have to get rid of it. Now, if I don't use it next month, I can keep it as long as I want. So basically, I will hold on to that Joker until there's a movie that I come across that I just don't get around to. So then I can save it with that one so I don't have to unhaul it. So happy to have one of those bad boys in the bag. And I do have one more Joker sticker card in here that I did add back. So there was 2 in total. So I want to cut it one more time just to make sure. All right, let's do it one more time. Okay, so this is watch a film that you hauled this month 1 year ago. Okay, so this means I'm going to have to head to, I guess probably the easiest way to do it would be to look at my Google Sheets document to see what I hauled this month last year. So I'm filming this May 1st, so technically this would be May. So what I'm going to do is go into my Google Sheets spreadsheet and see what I hauled in the month of May 2020 and pick a movie that starts with the letter D from there, assuming there is one. So let's take a look. So I'm going to put it on my screen here so you guys can kind of look along with me, but I have this spreadsheet of everything. So what I'm going to do is put the purchase month, I don't know if I can get that right there, purchase month as May, clear all these, pick May. This is for 2020, I should also mention. So this is everything I grabbed, and actually it looks like a pretty small month, so let's see if I can find anything that starts with the letter D here, which it's not looking good. Oh, you know what? I guess this would work. So this is a double feed. This is from Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, okay. So this is from Vinegar Syndrome. So let me go pick that one up real quick. So that was interesting because May happened to be a lighter month for whatever reason last year. So the only one that falls in here, this is actually a double feature of Murder Weapon and Deadly Embrace. So of course I will be watching Deadly Embrace because that falls into the letter D, which is what I needed to find. And it looks like both of these are from 1989 and they both star Linnea Quigley, which is awesome. So these are going to be like slasher-like films. I know they're going to be very like erotic and bloody and just crazy. So very excited to check this one out, and always happy to watch something from Vinegar Syndrome just because there's so many I have that I need to watch yet. So yeah, this is cool. Very fortunate to have stumbled upon this one. So Deadly Embrace from 1989 is going to be the last film on my TBW. All right, so those are the 3 movies on my TBW, one from here, and then, of course, the See No Evil in the middle there. So Deadly Embrace, See No Evil, and which one was it? The Terror of the Tongs from the Hammer Films Ultimate Collection. So it should be a really interesting month, another diverse month in the world of movie watching for me. And then I have all my manga, which I don't want to pick up because it's just too heavy. So yeah, should be a fun month of May. Let me know down in the comments below, though, what you guys are watching and what you're reading. What are you playing? I'm sure I'm going to be playing some more MLB The Show 21 just because I've kind of been a little bit addicted to it recently. So yeah, I'm sure that's what I'm going to end up playing in the month of May here as well. But let me know down in the comments below what you're planning to consume. I love having more of a conversation with you guys down there. And let me know if any of my picks here today are interesting or if they're any good or not. If you've already read them or watched them, I would love to hear from you guys down there. So please leave those comments. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And like I always say, I don't just talk books, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.